stray. A simple world where love would bloom in every corner of the living room. Oh, the golden thread, it ties us tight through black and white into the light. A reel of love, it's always there. Classic moments beyond compare.
Welcome back to The Golden Thread, Lessons from Classic TV. I'm your host, Bob. These episodes are brought to you by the Classic TV Preservation Society, founded by Herbie J Pilato. There's a moment most of us face at some point in life. A moment when we realize that being right and being good are not always the same thing. The law might be clear, the facts might be solid, and the rules might be followed perfectly. And still, something feels wrong. That's where this story lives. In this episode, the question isn't whether the law can be applied. It can. The question is whether applying it without compassion actually serves justice at all. The case itself is unsettling, not because it's sensational, but because it's painfully human. Someone has done something wrong. Harm has occurred, and the system moves in, efficient and exact, ready to sort, label, and punish. That part is easy. What's hard is looking at the person at the center of it and asking, who is this human being really? Not just what they did, not just what the law says and what led them here. What they were trying to do, what they believed, what they didn't understand. This is where justice becomes uncomfortable. Because justice without empathy asks us to stop thinking, and justice with empathy asks us to see. Law without love becomes cruelty. The golden thread running through this story is quiet but firm. Justice that refuses compassion eventually forgets the human being. Throughout the episode, we watch people argue positions, legal positions, moral positions, institutional positions. Everyone believes they are correct. Everyone can justify themselves. But justification isn't the same as wisdom. The law can tell us what happened. It can even tell us what should happen next. But it cannot tell us how to hold another human life with care. That part is still up to us. And when we remove compassion from judgment, something dangerous happens. We begin to believe that rules matter more than people. What makes this episode so powerful isn't outrage or grandstanding. It's restraint. It shows us something rare. The courage to complicate a story instead of simplifying it. It would be easier to reduce the person on trial to a headline, to a cautionary tale, to a lesson in what not to be. But that's not what happened. Instead, we're invited to sit in the discomfort of nuance, to recognize that a person can be wrong without being worthless, and guilty without being irredeemable. This doesn't excuse harm. It doesn't erase accountability, but it refuses to strip someone of their humanity in the process. That refusal, that's an act of love. And where this meets our own lives, well, most of us are not judges or attorneys, but we are juries every day. We decide who deserves grace, who gets written off, who we label forever by one moment, who we allow to grow past their worst day. We do this in families, in friendships, online, in politics, in our own inner lives. And the question this story quietly asks us is, when someone fails, what do you reach for first? Punishment or understanding? Because the answer to that question shapes the kind of world that we're building. This episode doesn't argue that consequences don't matter. It argues that consequences without compassion become hollow. True justice isn't cold. It isn't mechanical, and it isn't satisfied with simply being correct. True justice pauses long enough to ask, is this response proportionate? Does it recognize the full humanity of the person involved? And does it aim to heal or only to control? When justice includes love, it becomes restorative instead of merely punitive. And that's the difference between order and wisdom. The golden thread that we carry forward in this, well, here's the thread to take with you. Being right is easy. Being compassionate, that takes courage. The world doesn't need more people that are eager to punish. It needs more people willing to understand without excusing, and to hold others accountable without destroying them, and to remember that every life we judge is still a life. Justice needs a heart. Without it, we lose more than we protected. Thank you. Thank you for joining me for episode 23 of The Golden Thread. Next week, we'll step into a much harsher spotlight and explore what happens when applause replaces integrity. Until then, choose compassion where it costs you something. That's where love still lives, guys. See you next week. Later, Gators. Bye.
Walking down the lanes of yesterday, where laughter echoes and hearts don't stray. A simple